Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4, the New Order, the last days of Europe, with me, Alpha by Omega, and the Empire of Japan. So in the last episode we managed to increase our real GDP growth to nearly 3%, and we've also pulled, and I'm really proud about that, Italy borderline, but into our, triangle, I'd say. Today we're gonna work with the ENI to further increase our influence on them, and hopefully that's gonna be enough because we're gonna lose the next negotiation round. They've given it the maximum investment, meaning that they got, they're gonna steamroll us basically. So we're gonna see how that's gonna go, but I don't expect it to go well. So every little bit that we can invest there right now is gonna help. In the meantime, we're working on emergence populism, and we got a bill in the diet. We need to keep an eye on the fact that this is going to pass, make sure that there's no issue, because we really need this one to go through. If it does, the government stability will increase by 12%, which is, a decent amount. We have 76%, so if we get it to 88, that is pretty good, in my opinion. Okay, then a naval doctrine, the last naval doctrine actually available. So we can go with expanded task force capabilities or bastions on the sea. Bastions on the sea would increase organization of battleships and carriers by 10, naval max range plus 20%, capital ship armor plus 10%, and task force capabilities help destroyers and frigates screen attack and screen defense. I'm gonna go with the Bastions of the Sea. A ship is, in its own way, a fortress upon the water. Its sailors cannot expect to get off it should the worst happen, and this makes them fight until the last. In this age of strife, it is the navy which shall protect the nation, mutual exclusive with the other ones. So carriers and battleships get extra organization. This even further proves my point that we need to build more carriers eventually. They are going to be the things that will keep us afloat. Okay, these electric train improvements are done, which is good. How are you guys doing? How can Yorubaland still resist you? Do you have barely any troops? Did we already finish that foreign action? No. Station Naval Task Force. Okay, 4 days. I wonder if that's gonna affect the American garrison strength for what it's gonna do. Okay, well. Gen 1 and night vision equipment, infantry, anti-air. Let's get a transport helicopter company. I think it was Wolfhau who suggested that we get that one. We might use it to help our special units in their operations. The newly developed dedicated transport helicopter can be used for transporting supplies and task forces, along with medical evacuation for critically injured personnel. Let me just check. Yeah, we got everything except the anti-sub heli. So let's get these and see if we can use them in some way. Okay, bill in the diet, still passing. We now have enough to work with the ENI. So how did this one go? Okay, we secured the Gulf of Guinea. Effective not completed within 68. 80 the PL field was significantly more difficult. Our supply line to PALF will stand. Okay, let's ramp up naval patrols because we can. So, West African war will escalate. Okay, Gen 1 night vision has been finished. Well, World War II armor train. think there's anything in here that we would like to get. We're working on UU. Tight support artillery. Okay, let's get that one. That increases defense, breakthrough, and piercing for us, and gives us advanced automatic cannon. That might be useful for some of our equipment. Improvement in ballistics and engineering have allowed for the development of longer-range mortar designs that can put deadlier shells downrange. Debt to GDP is below 105%. Amazing. Euro deficit is also dropping as we increase our GDP and we keep other expenses reined down. The debt is still okay. I want to get the work with the E&I, but I want to wait for it to be a good moment to get it, so that we keep as much political power as we can. Okay, 3 production units, 2 more, okay. And another doctrine is available. This one, the air one. No, wait, this is the... Yes, the land doctrine, okay. So we can get either supply chain reinforcements, which gives us 72-hour supply grace and non-combat out-of-supply penalties lowered by 35%, or strategic cycles, like infantry gets extra breakthrough and organization. I'm gonna go with that one. We never really have issues with supplies that much, but the breakthrough and organization is gonna be good because it protects our units directly. Always being on the offense will quickly wear out our forces, and always being on the defensive will ruin morale. We can make our strategic objectives easier to grasp and therefore easier to carry out by placing them into a cycle. We will attack along the line, hold to stabilize, and then attack after letting the enemy whittle themselves down uselessly. Okay, makes sense. Okay, the infantry kit is finished. Let's get another one of the naval support things. Okay, I guess the cruiser armor piercing shell is a good one. The fundamentals of what we know now as the armor piercing shell have been in place since the war. The cap of materials which allows for penetration, the shape explosive that detonates at the intended timing, and the lethal result. Naval variants have adopted this principle, so heavy attack when piercing plus 5%. I feel like we have a lot of extra political power now. It might not seem like that, but with how nice Yoruba is finally falling, every little bit of political power helps. So the emergence populism is gonna be good. But the rate will increase. The poverty rate is gonna decrease. This is also good. Okay, so let's work with them. And helped a little bit, but not much. Well, they're gonna win this one. Unfortunately, that is how it is. Anything we can do? Okay, we're ramping up the patrols. I really don't know what that one does. Our comrades will be better protected. We'll increase the sphere's advantage in the Gulf of Guinea campaign. It's very abstract. Not gonna lie. Hopefully they can kill Yoruba one. That would be really good for us, because they would free up a lot of units they can move to the front. Infantry weapon improvements 5 are done. Okay, support. Signal company. We don't need anything in here really. Let's get the remote-controlled autocannons. A small unmanned autocannon emplacement remotely controlled by a crewman within the hull of the vehicle. Yep, I want this issue. Okay, they are exactly in the middle now. So it wasn't a total waste. I guess. And because they invested so much... they shouldn't be able to help. Okay. So Italy remains non-aligned. Despite our best efforts and the swan song of the United States, Italy has announced that it shall not be joining any faction and remain neutral between co-prosperity sphere and the OFN. Whilst this is not ideal scenario, we can at least rest easy that the Americans have not gained another lapdog. Okay, well that is fair. You know, not a victory, not a loss. Stalemate, yep. But we were this close. If I just had a little bit more political power, we could have done great things here. But oh well. This is the second best result we could have had. So the bill will pass in the next 4 days. And we're gonna save political power after that. 'Cause we need... No, I think it will weaken us a little bit after this one passes. It gives you stability but takes away support. But yeah, GDP will increase significantly, which is great. Because we, base our growth on the actual GDP, and we get emergency populism as well. Okay. So bill passes in the Diet. Yeah, some members of the Diet reassess their support for us. But nothing dramatic. And we increase the GDP. Yep, the debt to GDP is now 104.3% and it continues dropping. Really nice. I'd be happy if it got back below 100% again. State Welfare Act. Or General Welfare Act. Wait, the General State Welfare Act? Moderate relief. Significantly more expensive but offer greater benefits. Okay. So we can now choose an option here on the agricultural relief. Or corporate relief. This one, I think we need to hold on that for now. Let's go with the Reformist Alliance next. The Admiral and his faction of the Yokosankai have agreed to vote Prime Minister Ikeda's government into confidence. The two men regarded the arrangement as temporary, but perhaps there may be a way to reconcile the reformists and conservatives. After all, their mutual opposition to Kido's power-mongering ways, as well as the technocrats' brand of extreme Keynesianism, unites them in more ways than one. Other than ideological concerns, there also exists a pragmatic edge to the alliance. The conservatives have plurality, but the reformists complete it into a workable majority. Anchoring themselves to Ikeda's vessel, Takagi and his crew have cast their lot as to the fate of Japan. A step towards cementing this alignment would be to establish a formal understanding with the reformists. They would support conservative programs and policies, but compromises would be arranged wherever possible. There is no more powerful abiding force than a mutual pressing need. So relationship increased by 5%, which is good, but we really need to improve our own relations, to be quite honest. But no pressing need. happens right now, we should focus more on the global conflict next. There's the doctrine. And I don't know what's gonna happen with Colombia. That has been completely sidetracked for now. So I do wonder. Political power, monetary spending factor 15%, so we would save about 1.5 billion. I don't think that's worth the wasted political power though. Terrible relations with the technocrats. They hate us. They hate us so much. It gives them energy. A denunciation from the Urals. And Colombia happened. Just as I was speaking about it. So the denunciation from the Urals. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs have received a notice of a public diplomatic condemnation from an entity calling itself the West Siberian People's Republic. This one. Oh, hold on. Yeah, round 2. Nikita Khrushchev. Huh. This government, ruling from the seat in the eastern city of Tyumen, claims successorship to the fallen Soviet Union and is led by chairman of the Communist Party Lazar Kaganovich, who claims an anti-revisionist orientation. What? That's not true. It's being led by Nikita Khrushchev. Huh. Who claims an anti-revisionist orientation. The message undoubtedly offered with heavy influence from the chairman reads as follows. The Empire of Japan, one of the foremost imperialist powers on earth, is one of the foulest enemies of the global proletariat. Under the guise of opposition to European imperialism, it has militarily occupied and incorporated into its co-prosperity sphere a number of the countries of Asia, only to further their enslavement under its own rule. Its crimes include the invasion, occupation, and subjugation of China, and the massacre of its inhabitants, the systematic extraction of the resources of Manchuria and the Southeast Asia for its own ends, the widespread use of slavery in the form of the Romusha and similar systems, the sponsorship of murderous fascists in the former Soviet Union, the suppression of people's movement in Japan and abroad, and too many other crimes to count. The Japanese bourgeoisie have effectively fused with the state and military apparatus to further the oppression and exploitation of the people of Asia. And in terms of the number of people under its rule alone, Japan is the largest fascist regime in human history. It is the task of the world's workers to smash this horrid empire and give the nation of the co-prosperity sphere true self-determination. The WSPR's stance, perhaps to be expected for a communist state, is extremely anti-Japanese. If Kaganovich is allowed to revive the Soviet Union, our control over the states of East Asia will become significantly harder to maintain. Taking political power, Borsport. Did they have? That is the brooch. Springtime. Expand the institutes. Condemn the warmongers. Oh yeah. So they got an event here. A policy of solidarity. Okay, so now round 2. These bureaucrats and their damn cigarettes, couldn't they go a few hours without them? At least Ibuka could be satisfied with their expressions. Those patronizing half-smiles were gone now, replaced with something much more businesslike and, dare I say, humbled. By now the competitive advantage to be gained from Fujitsu's computers was universally known. Major companies on the exchange were begging for deals. Ibuka had made it known to the government in no uncertain terms that he was being indulgent by granting them a second opportunity to work with him. He did not expect too much resistance this time around. One of the bureaucrats cleared his throat and leaned forward over the table. So this is the continuation of the computer chain that started in the very beginning of the game. I really do wonder what's gonna happen here. Where this leads. Ibuka, I have to say we have all noted the benefits of your products that have... Wait, Ibuka, I have to say we've all noted the benefits your products have brought. Your claims of extravagant productivity increases seems to be well-founded. The government believes it can make a deal with you. Ibuka duly adopted a grateful smile, but this display of bravado fooled nobody, and everybody in the room knew it. These poor fools would be kneeling at his feet right now if it were appropriate behavior for a government official. I am glad that you have come around, Ibuka replied. Fujitsu is, as always, eager to serve. I believe you have already received the necessary papers. The bureaucrats nodded vigorously, although Ibuka did notice that some were less keen to meet his eyes than others. He clapped his hands, sending a few bureaucrats jolting out of their chairs, much to his amusing. Shall we get started then? So what's going on here? So there is a conflict here between Manchuria and Far Eastern Soviet. So there's a border conflict going there. Huh. Okay. Well, either way, let's look at the Colombian Civil War, which resumed. The armed peace in which Colombians have lived since a ceasefire was agreed in 1956 has ended as the three struggling factions, the central government, the Colombian Revolutionary Union, and the New Granada have resumed their war operations following the escalation of the brutal skirmishes for control of the northern Colombia. The rise of the Second Patriotic Army and their sudden takeover of the Atlántico department has only further destabilized the region. This is the Atlántico? Yes. What is to become of Colombia now is not known, but with the warring factions throwing peace out of the window, motivated by hatred, desperation, and greed, the country has been violently returned to the bloodshed of the 50s, and as the bodies begin to accumulate in the mountain streets and jungles, it might come the day where people look back at La Violencia as a better time, as none is safe from the looming threat of death and the outreach of armies and militias across the scorched land. A peaceful solution always seemed impossible. And we cannot send support here. Okay. So let us look this way. Expand Palmascara Airport. Operation Cochigo. We can send 2 volunteer units. Operation Conigo. Test the doctrine. Send advisors. Provide technical assistance. Okay, Operation Koichigo is what we want. We can also go with Operation Conigo. Division speed. Attack local supplies. Well, okay. We can go with some advisors. Those all cost just command power. So right now we should be able to send volunteers. Yes. Okay, that's important. We'll have to send... Okay, we'll temporarily assign the 3rd Kutei Haishidan to the 2nd IJA. We'll send you guys immediately, because without you, this would not make any sense. Can we send air? No, we cannot send any air wings. But okay, we still are gonna send you guys, because that will be important. And if we can do here, transfer helicopters to Cameroon. Retrofit Cameroonian ships. Send all shipments. Okay, we'll be able to do that one afterwards. Do we want to do anything? They're saying this will increase our advantage in the Gulf of Guinea. So I expect that once the war will escalate, we will see a big difference. I'm tempted to retrofit their ships or send them helicopters, but that costs 25 political power. That is something that we could use better, I think, for now. Expand military shipments. Arm insurgencies. Well, we have to wait and see what's gonna happen. So far they're doing good. They're pushing Yorubaland further and further. Okay, the second patriotic army has been defeated. I still can't send you anyone. Okay, so we've built further infrastructure. Now, what else build? Could build a couple of hospitals. Where's the biggest population? Here we have 13 million. Here we have 5 million. So can we build it here? Well, we could build a couple of offices as well. No, we can't. I could build a hospital here. So where else? Osaka should be a good target. Yep, 8 million, 920,000 people. Any offices available here? Nope. But I could build 2 hospitals here and 2 schools, or 1 school. Okay. Then Fukuoka. What about here? Where else? Sapporo is usually a big one. No, these are sparsely populated. Kofu, Iwaki, Fukushima, Sendai. Well, 2 million is not that much, but it's better than nothing. Aomori, about Sapporo. 6 million, yeah. I was right. So office. Okay, let's build an office there. And here as well. Okay, that should be enough for now. Economy growing nicely. China is not doing good. Really. It is not doing good. Okay. We have our units in Granada. Finally something we can do here. So you are at war with, Jesus Christ, everyone. So you guys are moving this way. Yeah, but we need it in the north, because we need to fight. Sorry for the weather skip. Well, okay. Honestly, I have decided that our units are gonna go and fight here. I think that our allies can facilitate the conquest of the area, but we're just gonna have to throw our units into the most contested places, like around Bogota and these areas, because if we can push or destroy the enemy units and keep them at bay, which is going to be our biggest concern here, then even the inferior army of our allies can actually go ahead and, you know, take the territory that we will allow them to. I don't think we'll have many more options here to do anything, because well, like technical. I mean, we're gonna be getting a little bit more political power now that we're not contesting Italy, but none of these. Jesus, provide technical assistance would give them for division attack and entrenchment. Now, this one would be super useful for them. But again, then retrofitting Cameroonian ships or transferring helicopters might be a bit more useful. I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. At least the economy is doing good. We have what the bill in the diet was passed. So yeah, I mean, you know, things are doing well. You know, we're going well. English Alpha, do you speak it? Anyway, that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one, where we are going to start the proper war in New Granada.